बच्चे ही कहता खिलाते ही पेट भर को दोपहर में खाना नहीं खाना।
Next topic is group velocity and phase velocity. Group velocity and phase velocity. So, what is phase velocity and what is group velocity? Phase velocity will be represented with Vp. Okay, so phase velocity. So it will be considered for single frequency signals. Okay, when a single frequency signal travels along the line. Okay, in a single frequency signal travels along the transmission line at particular frequency. Okay, ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీలో ఏమవుతుంది, ఫేజ్ అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది, రైట్? ఆర్ యు గెటింగ్ మై పాయింట్?
Yes, ma'am.
ఒక సింగిల్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ సిగ్నల్ తీసుకుంటున్నప్పుడు ఎక్కడ ఇన్ ద ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ లైన్ ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ దగ్గర ఏమవుతుంది, ఫేజ్ అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. ఆ ఫేజ్ చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు ఏదైతే వెలాసిటీ ఉంటుందో దట్ వెలాసిటీ విల్ బి కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ ఫేజ్ వెలాసిటీ.
उसका हाथ बड़ा होगा, उसकी पकड़ लगती बड़ी। चलो
तुम्हें कहाँ जाते हैं इसके साथ?
उड़ा को आना सकते। चलिए मुंह काला कर लेता कि क्या।
देखो वो मांझा है कड़वेगा किधर तो भी परसों काट लिया इकन मानो मुंडी कड़ गई।
Okay, definition clear? Phase velocity concept okay na?
Yes, ma'am.
The velocity at which the phase are changing in a single frequency signal. ఎలానే చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. ఏనా మెయిన్ ఏంటి, ఫేజ్ అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు వెలాసిటీని తీసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ phase velocity Vp. Vp equals to omega by beta. Okay, so next group velocity. Okay, so group of velocities will be considered for different signals which travels with different frequencies. The number of signals ఉన్నాయి బాబు, group of signals, each signal having different frequency, right? That means different frequency signals will travel along the transmission line, that different velocities will be considered as a group velocity. Okay na? ఫేజ్ వెలాసిటీ అయితేనేమో సింగిల్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ సిగ్నల్ మనం తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఓకే, ఇన్ దిస్ వీఆర్ కన్సిడరింగ్ ద సింగిల్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ సిగ్నల్ ఇన్ ఫేజ్ వెలాసిటీ. ఇన్ గ్రూప్ వెలాసిటీ, గ్రూప్ ఆఫ్ సిగ్నల్స్ వీఆర్ కన్సిడరింగ్ దట్ సిగ్నల్ హ్యావింగ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ అండ్ దే ఆర్ ట్రావెల్స్ విత్ డిఫరెంట్ వెలాసిటీస్. దట్ వెలాసిటీస్ విల్ బి కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ గ్రూప్ వెలాసిటీ. Okay, so Vg equals to dou omega by dou beta. That means differentiation of phase velocity. Clear these 2 points, group velocity and phase velocity?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and next, so all are 1 mark questions, my definition. So primary constants 4, secondary constants 4, and group velocity, phase velocity. All are 1 mark questions. Okay. Next, distortions in transmission line. Distortion. What is the meaning of distortion?
Loss.
Losses, right? So which type of losses will be occurred? General loss అనేది మనం ఎక్కడ కన్సిడర్ చేస్తున్నాం? We are having transmitter and receiver, right? Right? So the same signal will be delivered at the receiver. So transmitter దగ్గర ఏదైతే మనం ట్రాన్స్మిట్ చేస్తామో the same signal will be received at the signal, then it is a distortionless signal, right? If these two are not equal, that means not same signal will be taken here, then distortion occurs. Ante kada. అంతేనా?
Yes, ma'am.
So distortion means
क्या करिया जी?
losses, right?
तेज हवा की है वो पतंग जर जर उड़ जाती है।
वैसा है एकदम सामने आके तो लग गएगा मान जाऊँ
Okay ना?
उड़ाता है फिर
शाम का नहीं आता है तो खींच आ रहे शाम में उड़ाएंगे वो तो खींचने को आता है। वो हवा फाइबर होती है।
ऐसा हिलती में
మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? ట్రాన్స్మిటర్ దగ్గర సిగ్నల్ ని ట్రాన్స్మిట్ చేస్తున్నాం, రైట్?
गिर भागती है।
It having many parameters like power, frequency, voltages, current, right? So all parameters must be received at the receiver. Then only it is a distortionless signal. If you are not receiving same parameters, then distortion occurs. Okay. So in our transmission lines, which type of distortions are there? One is the frequency distortion and second one is the phase distortion. Okay. First one is the frequency distortion, second one is the phase distortion. So frequency distortion means
Frequency changes.
frequency is not same for input and output signals. So manaku oka input signal having some frequency. So output signal is not equal to the input frequency. That is called frequency distortion. Okay. And phase distortion means
Output phase is
the output signal phase of the output signal is not same to the input signal phase. That is the phase distortion. Okay. Two types of distortions. First one is the frequency, second one is the phase. Frequency is not same, then frequency distortion occurs. Phase is not same for both input and output signals because we are comparing the output signal with input, right? That is a phase distortion. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And next topic is standing wave ratio. Standing and reflected waves. Okay, standing and reflected. What is standing wave and what is reflected wave? So before that we have to know about the, it is a transmission line. We have input and output, right? Okay. So output will be considered as a load. Right? So the input measure at the input terminals is known as Z0. And at the load ZL. That means
क्या हुआ?
load impedance, characteristic impedance.
जाते फुर्र में ऊपर चले गए.
So this is also known as input impedance and it is also known as output impedance, right?
बारिश नहीं आता है 19
ऐसा
लग
करना
जाती
ऐसा
है.
करना
So what is input impedance?
कहाँ की वहाँ जाकर वो झाड़ा के उस पे गिर गई.
Z naught.
अटक गई थी भाई यू करते के चुप.
Z naught, that is characteristic impedance. Okay. So what is output impedance?
ZL.
खतरनाक तेज उठे.
ZL, that means load impedance. Okay.
पुन्हा होता उडायतो
शाम में.
So if these two are matched together, that means equal. If Z naught equals to ZL, okay. So what
उत्ता का మెయిన్
happens?
है ना जी पानी बहुत सुनता है
By instant power, complete signal ఏదైతే మనం ట్రాన్స్మిట్ చేస్తాం that will be total will be reached to the output. Okay. So in this case, if Z naught equals to ZL, complete input signal will be reached to the output without any losses. Okay. So if not equals, what happens?
Distortion.
So complete signal అనేది రీచ్ అవ్వదు అవుట్పుట్. ఓకే. సో రీచ్ అవ్వకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది? డిస్టార్షన్ అక్కర్. దట్ మీన్స్ ద సిగ్నల్ సమ్ రిఫ్లెక్టెడ్ బ్యాక్. Will be reflected back. Okay. Some input signal will be absorbed by the load and some power will be reflected back. ఎప్పుడు రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది? When this condition occurs, when Z naught not equals to ZL, then some of the power will be reflected back. Okay na? So మనం ఏదైతే signal will move to the forward direction, that means in the transmission the signal moves from input to output, right? It is in the forward direction. That signal will be called as incident wave. Incident wave or forward wave. Okay? Incident wave or forward wave. So in this condition, some signal will be reflected back, right? So that signal will be called as reflected signal. Reflected signal, or we can also call as backward signal. Forward signal, this one, it is a backward signal. Or incident wave, reflected wave. Okay na? So in the incident wave, we are transmitting voltages and currents, right? Yes. So these two are in same phase, but the reflected signal will be out of phase with instant wave. Suppose signal with 0 degrees undanukondi, then reflected signal will be with 180 degrees out of phase. Opposite lo vastundi signal. Okay na? So manaki enti ippudu? It is the input and it is the load. The signal will be transmitted like this. If Z naught not equals to ZL, then what happens? Reflected back, right? Some signal will be reflected back. So it is the incident wave and this dashed lines will be considered as a reflected wave. So reflected waves manaki eppudu vastunayi? When Z naught not equals to ZL. Okay, that means impedance matching not occurs. Input impedance and output impedance not matching, then reflected signals will be occurs. Okay na? So these waves are called standing waves. Okay? Standing waves, clear? So in this, so incident wave is there, reflected wave is there, right? It is a source and it is the destination or load. Okay, so it is an incident wave and it is a reflected wave. So instant wave having voltages and current, right? It will be represented with VI and II. Instant voltage, instant current. And for reflected, VR and IR. Okay, na? Is a incident wave parameters, voltage and current. Reflected signal parameters, voltage and current will be represented with R and incident will be represented with I. Okay? Okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
So the ratio of reflected wave to the incident wave parameters. The ratio of reflected to the incident. That means R by I. So either voltage or current is there, right? If we are consider the voltage, VR by VI. If we are consider the current, then IR by II. The ratio of reflected voltage to the incident wave voltage. Then that is called voltage reflection coefficient. So in general, we can say reflection coefficient. That means reflected wave to the ratio of reflected wave to the incident wave. Okay? Reflected wave to the incident wave. If it is a voltage, then voltage reflection coefficient. If we are considering the current, then it is called
current reflection coefficient.
reflection coefficient. So this reflection coefficient will be represented with K. Okay? K equals to VR by VI or K equals to IR by II. That means here
अरे क्या हो रहा तेरे क्या का जल काला का था
in terms of, okay na? Reflection coefficient. The ratio of reflected wave to the incident wave, either voltage or current.
लल्ली बहुत करता है मैं
So clear this one?
Yes, ma'am.
So, next one, standing wave ratio. Standing wave ratio. So it is the ratio of maximum to minimum.